So, we're starting off from chronological order in the year release, however it fits into the canon, going up until the side games. So, the first game we got Resident Evil 0. A very controversial release. It debuted back in 2002 on the GameCube as an exclusive and a prequel to the original Resident Evil remake. I just beat it earlier today, actually, and that's what made me want to do this. It's a fun game, beautiful atmosphere, beautiful locales, but the partner system and the item drop system, the item management system, very fucky. It's very weird. It made me very uncomfortable sometimes, especially managing that for two characters. So we're gonna put Resident Evil 0 mid tier. You know what? No, I'll make it a B. Okay, and it's going to be a heart. It's going to be a low B. There's going to be some other stuff in front of it. Now we got the original Resident Evil, released in 1996 on the original PlayStation. I've played the PlayStation version a little bit. I beat it once or twice. So, we're going to put Resident Evil 1 in front of 0. A strong B. Because I respect that it started the series and everything. But there's a different version of the game that I go back to more than the original. Now we have the Resident Evil remake. Fucking beautiful game. It's dark, it's ominous, it's creepy. The voice acting's not that good, but that's what gives it its charm, its personality, if you will. So Resident Evil, for me, the remake, 2002, gets GOAT status. Oops, sorry. One of my top tier Resident Evil games, hands down. Now this next one might get some shit. We got the reworked portable edition of the original Resident Evil with some added features. It came out in either 2005 or 2006. Deadly Silence, Resident Evil DS, came out on the DS. Spent a lot of time with this game, this version of the game. I'm gonna put it A rank. Weird, right? Okay, next we got Resident Evil 2, released in 98, the year I was born, on PlayStation 2. I mean, PlayStation 1. Sorry. Great game. I love the character Leon S. Kennedy. He's one of my favorites. So I plan to replay it here very soon. I might actually start that after I'm done with this tier list. And I got nothing better to do. I'm going to go with A. Very light A. There's going to be something else in between them. So, next, the true Resident Evil 3, because I'm a Code Veronica defender. I love Code Veronica. I've played it to hell and back. It's creepy. It's got a creepy storyline. some really creepy characters. And one of the most annoying Resident Evil characters ever in the history of Resident Evil. So, Code Veronica gets... Oh, man. So I have so many memories with this game. It's going to get a hard A. Hard A. It's not GOAT status, but it's damn near it. Let's see. Next, I'm going to go ahead and do Resident Evil Gaiden. I really have not played much of Gaiden. I had it for like a couple days back when GameStop still carried Game Boy Color games, and I traded it in or gave it to a friend. I can't remember. I'm going to give Gaiden a D because that fucking gameplay. Oh my god, it was so irritating. Next, we got Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. I'm going to be honest. I have not played a good enough amount of the original Nemesis to give it a fair ranking, which I'll probably get a lot of shit for from some other RE veterans. So I'm giving it haven't played status. Yeah. We'll go ahead and do Survivor. Trash. Straight up trash. My brother, Nate, he really enjoyed Survivor. He beat it. I watched him play it. It wasn't for me. First person shooter. Kind of like really linear. Easy game. Not for me. Then we'll knock out some of these side games really quick. Outbreak. I'm going to give it a C tier. It's good. Fun partner zapping stuff. Challenging. It's a challenge of the mind more than anything. Outbreak File 2. I have the game. I have not played it, so I can't give it a fair ranking. Mercenaries 3D. I spent a lot of time with this game. It was the first 3DS game I ever got next to Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. So, Mercenaries 3D. Let's go and get... Yeah. Light B. Almost a C. Really enjoyed it. Dead Aim. Have not played it. I have a copy of it. On PlayStation 2. But I have not really played it. Resistance. Have not played yet. I have it. The Dark Side Chronicles. It's going to get a D. It recreated some of the stuff from Resident Evil 2 really well. But it just... I don't know. It wasn't really my thing. The Umbrella Chronicles. Trash. Played it whenever it first came out on a friend's Wii, and it didn't do anything for me. I don't really care for on-rail shooters. Umbrella Corps, straight up fucking trash. Not even Resident Evil. It should not be considered a Resident Evil game. Operation Raccoon City, trash. Straight up trash. The moment they ask you to kill off a couple really popular characters, that's the moment they lost me. Honestly. Same thing with Resident Evil Revelations 2. They have some survival horror elements to them, especially Rev 2. Now, Resident Evil 4, the game that started it all for me. I spent hundreds of hours with this game. Big part of my childhood. It was always there when I needed it. Not to sound sentimental or mushy, but Resident Evil 4, the GOAT. Greatest of all time. Resident Evil 2 Remake, also GOAT. Greatest of all time. When Resident Evil 2 Remake launched, I specifically asked my mom to get me my PS4 for Kingdom Hearts 3 and Resident Evil 2 Remake, because they came out in around the same time. I think it was the same month, January 2019. And the beginning of 2019 for me was all Resident Evil 2, Kingdom Hearts 3, and Final Fantasy 15. Because Final Fantasy 15 is what made me want to get a PS4 in the first place. So, next we have Resident Evil 3 Remake. See, in my previous list I did for fun, before I'm doing this official one, I kind of did a practice list. And that's what's in the thumbnail of this video. I gave it, I think I put it really low on the list. And I realized that really wasn't fair. So I thought about it a little more. And I'm going to give Resident Evil 3 mid-tier, low C. That's about as civil as I can be with it. Resident Evil 5. Spent a lot of time with this game. It was my first platinum trophy for PlayStation 4. I'm going to give it right in between 0 and Mercenaries 3D. I'm rethinking my 0 ranking. I kind of want to move it up. Yeah, there we go. I'm happy with that. Resident Evil 7. I'm really dodging talking about this other game right here. Resident Evil 7, Biohazard. Spent a lot of time with it. I beat it about 6 or 7 times. The first time I played it, I beat the first scenario. I got the ending where, basically the bad ending. And then I went back, played it, and got the other ending. Realized there wasn't much of a difference. It's fun. It's scary. Like, if the first time I played it, it was pretty scary. There's a lot of moments that made me jump. I'm going to put Resident Evil 7. Yeah, right here. High B. Almost an A. High B. And finally, we get to Resident Evil 6. Single player, it is not fun. It is not fun at all. It's miserable. It's misguided. It's far from what you'd expect it to be. I remember reading the Game Informers of that year. It was either 2012 or 2013. I think it was 2012. I was a huge fan of Resident Evil 4, and I was reading the Game Informers that came out that year, and every Game Informer, almost, of 2012 had hype for Resident Evil 6. And then I was like, oh shit, yeah, it's going to be basically another Resident Evil 4. No, I was wrong. It was not. it is not, and it will never be another Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 5. They took everything about those games that was good, twisted it, and fucked it. It's only fun for a little bit if you play it co-op with a really good buddy and you're trying to have a fun time. That's what me and my buddy Garrett did. We played it on multiple occasions where we had not shit else to do, and we'd just play it and fuck around and dive and roll all over the place. So Resident Evil 6, very low D. Very low D. And that right there, guys, is my Resident Evil tier list. I think it seems pretty fair in my eyes. A couple of controversial picks, but nevertheless, I don't think too many other Resident Evil veterans would disagree with me. Thank you, guys.